Okay, for some reason my sound turned off. So I'm going to try this just again from here, and then I'm going to watch it and see if the sound was mostly there. I'm not going to worry about it because it's getting kind of late and I am trying to get things done for you, but it was kind of a hectic day. I'll be better tomorrow. So anyway, I was just going to go into Desmos again and just talk about, I don't know why the sound disappeared on me, but I was going to go into Desmos again and just cancel these and then just do a new one. So that side is 2 absolute value x minus 3, 2 absolute value x minus 3, and then, oops, sorry. And I'm just, you do not have to do this, plus 2, and then it equals 8. Okay, so plus 2. This is not something you need to do. I'm just trying to show you the reason why this has 2 answers. So this is what an absolute value graph looks like, and we're going to spend a lot of time graphing them in the next couple of weeks, but not on tonight's homework. We're just solving. Okay, and so then if I put the other side, which is 8, oh, here I go again. It has to say y equals 8. It gives me the flat line. Where do these two things hit? So the last one they didn't hit, and that's why we said no solution. This one hits at 6. And it hits at 0. And if you look at our answers, they hit at 6 and 0, and my answers are 6 and 0. So you can kind of see that on that screen. So what the graph does is it shows you the answers that are correct, okay? So we are going to do some practice in class, but you're obviously not there to practice. If you would like to practice them, you can. It's not required of you, but you can pause it now and just try them. And just make sure you've got it. Okay, R2, this is the same thing we just did, but it's with inequalities. So this is example 5. If you notice, this thing has 2 signs. Okay, so that means there's actually like 3 sides to this thing. You have the middle, so if you add 4, you're actually gonna have to add 4 here and add 4 here. So you end up with 12 is less than 2x, which is less than 20. So then I divide by 10, divide by 2, sorry, not 10. So you get 6 is less than x, which is less than 10. So if you look at this on the number line, because you're going to have to sketch these on a number line, this thing is saying that it's greater than 6, but it's less than 10. So it's shaded in between. Now, some kids, if you're using arrows above, I want to talk about this. If you do this and you have these arrows going out, I will take off. You need to show me that the final answer is here, shaded in between. If you have these arrows out here, I will take off because you're telling me it goes forever, and it doesn't. It just goes between 6 and 10. Okay? So on this one, now when it's an or, okay, you're going to work these problems separately. This is 2 separate problems. Do not try to intermix them. This is not 2 separate problems. There's no and or. It's a compound inequality, so you're going to do it all together. So these are different. Okay, so this you're going to do separately. You're going to subtract 3 from both sides. So you get 4x is less than a negative 9. Divide by 4, and x is less than a negative 9/4. So if I go to a number line and just look at this, I'm just going to put a negative 9/4 right here, and it's going less than with an open circle. Okay, and so if I do this one, I'm going to add 7 and add 7, so I get 3x is greater than 9, divide by 3, and x is greater than 3. So it's right here, it's on the other side, and it's greater than, so it's going like this. So now I would take those arrows because it is going to go on forever. So you just got to be careful about like what you leave for a final answer. This I would be okay with. All right. So it says list 3 positive numbers and 3 negative numbers that would work. And so I'm just going to give them to, and think about that. So if you think about it, greater than 12, if I list positives, wouldn't 3 work because 18, and wouldn't 4 work, and wouldn't 5 work, okay? But if I look at negative numbers, right, I want it to be greater than 12. I think the same answers would work. right? Negative 3 would be a negative 18. And then if I take the absolute value, it would be positive. So again, this is going to need two equations. You're going to say one that is positive, and you're going to say one that is negative. But when you do the negative one, you have to flip the sign. So here I would divide by 6, and x is greater than 2. And here I would divide by 6, and x is less than a negative 2. So this is an or because you're saying less than a negative 2 or greater than 2. Okay? So on all of these, you're going to have to write two equations. So here, I'm going to write two equations. 3x minus 4 is greater than 10. 3x minus 4 is less than a negative 10. So I'm going to add the 4 and add the 4, and I get 3x is greater than 14, divide by 3, and x is greater than 14 thirds. So on this one, I'd add the 4 and add the 4, and I get 3x is less than a negative 6, divide by that, and it's less than a negative 2. Oops, sorry. Okay, so you're going to say it's greater than 14 thirds, but less than 2. Okay, so you'd have less than a negative 2 and greater than 14 thirds. Okay. All right. So just to practice, I don't think this was in the notes, but I just want to let you know you can't write two equations until you isolate. You have to isolate this all by itself, and then you would write two equations. All right. So your assignment is going to be, it's on the calendar and the page numbers are in there, and I will drop those pages into the Google Classroom. And so all of them will be there.